All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. According to Verizon, it's 5:30, so we can get started. My name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. The first thing we're going to do is swear everyone who's here in. I say that because we'll have strays wander in, and we'll get to do that once or twice more. So everyone, please raise your right hand, say "I do." When we're done, does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, everyone seems to know their right from their left. This is good. All right, most of our hearings today are going to be fine assessment hearings or violation hearings. In those cases, the village is going to call your name. When you hear your name, you're going to go up to the podium in the front. You'll identify yourself. The village will show you some documents. They will put some documents and testimony into evidence, and then you get to do the same. That does switch for the end of our agenda. Those people are asking for fine mitigations. They've already been through the violation and the fine assessment process. They're asking for relief, so they get to go first, and the village will respond to them. I think I've hit all the high points, so Village of Royal Palm Beach, please proceed.
Sure, thank you. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. We're starting on page 1 of the agenda, status/fine assessment hearings. First case is 19-0293, 104 Granada Street, Barris A. and Marjorie L. Reed.
Gail McLean, Code Enforcement for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order granting continuance, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
I really don't even need to ask about service because he shows up pretty much every time, so he knows when the next hearing's scheduled. All right, so you have service. Please proceed. Okay. Please keep talking to a minimum. We can actually hear what you guys are saying out there.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Barris Reed.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order granting continuance. Page 2 of the order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No. When is, oh, this, yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any objection?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, Mr. Reed's been here a couple of times. We're still waiting for his garage door to be repaired, and I think house paint?
He has to finish painting, yes.
Okay. Mr. Reed, I thought you were holding a piece of paper you wanted to show me.
Yes, no, this is just in reference to the garage that I continue to work with Quality Garage, and I increased the amount of money that I had given them towards it. They are supposed to be applying for the permit. They should have applied for the permit already, but somebody was on vacation and did not get to apply for it. They're supposed to be doing it this week. As far as the garage is concerned, the rest, the painting, I cannot afford to hire a painter, so my son is going to do it, but he was supposed to do it yesterday, and he did not show up. Okay, so I just have to wait for him for Sunday to do the painting. I would like to request another continuance to be able to at least finish the painting.
Village's position is?
We, as you heard at the last hearing, were opposed to any further continuances last month. This is the 5th continuance. 5 continuances has already been granted. We're again of the same opinion that we need to start a fine running and see some progress.
Okay, well, so you're starting me out on a hard one. I kind of expected you to be done already, and you still keep...
I should have been done if I had the money, sir.
I know, well...
You know, that with me, right now, I'm on a fixed income, and I have a broken back, so I can't do the work myself.
Okay. In the hopes of someday getting this right, I'm going to start a fine in 2 weeks. So give me an order that starts the fine 2 weeks from today. That way, if he finishes it up and he gets his permit issued and the people will get done, there won't be a fine, but 5 continuances is kind of enough. So do the order, how much, 25?
It's
Dollars?
$50 a day. So
$50
you
a
want to
day?
establish a compliance date of 11/26 and a
Yes.
fine to start running on 11/27 if compliance is not achieved.
Right.
Do you want him back for a fine assessment hearing?
Yeah, on 12 what?
It's 12,
Calendars, huh?
12/11.
Okay. Kick your son, make him move. Do the same thing with the door people. Get them in there and get that permit issued. The fine will not start running until the 26th. That's like a half a month, so actually the fine will start on the 27th. You have until the 26th to comply.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Thank you very much. Next one,
Thank you.
please.
19-0318, 2493 Westmont Lane, Cindy R. and Michael A. Fioli Sr.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order granting continuance, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, permit information, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Will this be a finding of fact?
No.
Small fine here, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so services by personal service, I take it?
Yes, they came in the office.
Good. Kind of what I figured.
Michael Fioli.
Cindy Fioli.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is your previous order, continuance. Page 2 of that order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership for property appraiser. Exhibit 3 is the village's ISO 400 permit information.
Do you have a copy of our variance?
Yes, the village does, yes. That's not part of the exhibit, but you have an affidavit of compliance, so that's the important thing for you. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, what is the posture of this case then, since we do have an affidavit of compliance here?
Yes, they obtained a variance, they went through that process. They complied, unfortunately, they complied after the compliance date. They got their permit a bit late, so we're asking for a fine of $100 and not continuing.
We have our permit issued as of today. So we're down at the office today and it'll be issued to us tomorrow.
Right, but it's a little late, and I think
Yeah, the issue is they got the variance on 10/17. They didn't apply for the permit till 10/31. So there was 2 weeks delay that they could have applied for the permit the next day after the council meeting.
and we were only looking for
In fact, we couldn't apply the next day because of the paperwork. We had to mail out 60 letters within the neighborhood.
That's before your hearing?
That's part of the variance application. Those went
The
out before the
application
public hearing.
procedure. Now, if you're telling me you didn't get an order of variance for, a month, that'd be one thing. But you don't get extra time for doing something you had to do at the beginning of the process. You made it through the process, you made it to the end. Basically, it's 4 days worth of being late. It's $100.
Okay.
It's not gonna kill anybody. So $100, no continuing, and then before you leave, I get to tell everyone another thing. They have in their file something called an affidavit of compliance. And everyone who's here wants an affidavit of compliance in their file, and the only way to get that is to actually call code enforcement when you're done. I literally have had people go home from this meeting and work on things as I've driven by on the way home. And they fixed it that day or the next day, but if they don't call and have code enforcement come by and inspect it and get basically a certificate that you're done by this day, you're not done. So it's not for you, but it's for the rest of the audience. Thank you very much. I'll just do a $100 order on them. Granted.
Thank you.
Can we pay now or do we have to?
No, you have to wait until actually I sign the order because, there'll just be $100 wafting through the village hall somewhere with
Okay.
nothing to attach it to, so.
So
And it
we'll
doesn't
be
gather
notified.
interest, it doesn't, increase at all. So just wait till you get it in the mail, then you can come in and pay it.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
good
much.
evening.
All right, next.
19-0964, 132 Shorewood Drive, Evans Pettit.
Everyone shut up. 3 in a row.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Is this one of these beautiful tarps? I always said, you shouldn't have blue tarps, they're too obvious. White tarps are much prettier. All right, the signed green card shows service. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Evans Petit.
Thank you, sir.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is your previous order finding violation, the signed green card. Page 2 of the order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents? No. Thank you.
Okay. And you are waiting for?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on insurance.
Yeah, I know. It's the wonderful insurance fight. Are you in litigation with them?
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
just waiting for them to release the paper to sign it and just to get the money to fix the roof.
All right, and where are we in that process? Have they agreed to a certain amount of money? Have you agreed in mediation? You're just waiting for the funds?
So we're just waiting for them to just release that paper, so just to sign it. But it takes, I don't know what happened to them, but it takes a long time for them to release it.
Well, they hang on to their money like it's their money.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Do you
All
have
right.
do you have any idea?
No, I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna release
But when
it.
you do that, then you'll be able to pull your permit and get your roof done?
I'll do that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
All right, we'll bounce this for a month. Come back and, what
So
is it?
comply by 12/9 or the 12/11 hearing?
Or is this a 25?
Yes.
Okay. And that's just because Mr. Pettit keeps showing up here and keeps us informed, and that's what they want. They need to know what's going on. That's-
No problem.
You know, I believe me, after 10 years of this, I've seen more insurance company fights than you would want to hear about.
Yeah.
All right, I'll sign that order back again for a status fine assessment hearing, 12/9, or on the 12/11, or face a potential $25 a day fine. Granted. Next.
All right.
Next, top of page 2, 18-2031, 9100 to 9250 Belvedere Road, Royal Palm Business Plaza condominium.
Another frequent flyer.
Dina Foley, Code Officer for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance and setting status fine assessment. Exhibit 2, division of corporation. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. Sorry, there's just a lot of pictures. All right, you have a signed green card, so you have service. You can proceed. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Yes, Bruce Elkind.
Thank you, sir. And your affiliation, what, you're like with the HOA?
I am the board president at the moment.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is your previous order granting continuance. Signed green card. Exhibit 2 is condominium documents from the Division of Corporations. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Any objection to these documents?
No objection. Some things have been a little bit cleaned up,
Yep,
but
and we'll get there, and you can get there, and I have one correction, and you can make whatever additional corrections you have. And before he begins, Special Magistrate, Code Section 23-49, which is the last sentence, miscellaneous items stored behind the building and trailers stored in the parking lot. is being removed, that's complied. So the order will state continue to comply.
2349?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is just our continuing saga as we move along in the process here.
Yeah, we'd like to hear what Mr. Alkind has to say tonight in terms of where he is in his process.
Yes, I've been in contact with communication with a person named Tom Garrow who is a developer with the investors that were scammed out of $50 million trying to sue the bank. The bank is still, at the moment, trying to foreclose on those 60 units. Correspondence says that once that the requirements for the visas have been qualified, that they will move forward with the receiver to take over the bank's position, thus dropping their lawsuit and moving forward to not only give them relief, but you and the group of survivors. Then there was another correspondence from Tom as of today. Says, I have construction crew looking at the empty spaces at 1:30 today to give me a dollar figure to finish. Unfortunately, they won't have all the information today, but they're having the public record sent to them for the buildings to determine what still needs to be done. One of our owners today spoke with a Doug Green, which is the either the branch manager or the bank president of Centennial Bank in Tampa, and it says, looks like within 6 months this will be all done. I brought up to him a possible code violation with the city regarding landscaping, and he said they will comply with all city codes. And also today, Tom Garrow says that we're approaching the bank to hopefully purchase out foreclosure. We need to establish a pro forma to reasonably deduce what offer should be. So it sounds like within the next 4 to 6 months, this developer will be developing after the Chinese investors hopefully purchase those 60 units from the bank.
Okay, so we're moving along here though, because
We are
had
getting
a-
close. We are
We had
this
a
close.
big list,
I know.
and it keeps shrinking because I keep seeing pictures of less
Right.
things.
Well,
And then you had all
I
these,
am fighting with the tenants that the bank's been collecting rent from, because since there's very little organization there and there's no, quote, landlord, they feel they can get away with a lot of things. That's one. And two, since we are so close to a storage facility, it seems like every Tom, Dick, and Harry, when they move out, dumps all their trash in our dumpster area. Today they dumped a bed.
Okay.
I'm fighting.
So according to tonight's agenda, everything has been complied except for the landscaping issues. So the village's position tonight is additional time can be given, but we need to set this for fine assessment, not status/fine assessment. So the date established tonight needs to be a date for final compliance and completion. The landscaping is all that remains to be done, and this has been going on for 11 months, almost a year.
oh, I know, but I've sat here and listened to this story so many times, I almost know it by heart.
Plus the
These
estimate.
people are trying to dig their way out from a horrendous financial
Yes, the
problem.
estimates are over $50,000 to do all the landscaping.
So, it's not a simple, let's throw out a few buckets of, plants to fix this, and they have been doing things, I know the code officers watch them.
I know the
fix all
bank has
kinds of
been
other
cutting
things.
the lawn, the bank's been trimming the hedges. We pay someone extra on top of Republic Garbage to pick up the garbage and the landscaping stuff around. I mean, we're trying.
Yeah. Now they're running out of patience.
Now also,
You're
this Tom
continuing on.
Garrow has been trying to get in touch with Robbie Hill, so I'm sure he's trying to get copies of whatever codes and blueprints and whatever he needs to do to build out the place and get it back to code.
All right, so you're looking at 4 to 6. They're looking at.
That's what this
they're
says.
looking
I
at
mean,
now.
I
I
don't
got-
have anything definite as far as what I would believe,
got-
but I
but
only
I've-
have
I've-
hope.
I know. I've got to pull a date though, and I'm going to
Pull a date.
probably pull a date 90 days from now,
Okay.
and that'll give everyone, the Solomon's choice. They wanted 4 to 6 months. You want now 3 months sounds like a deal to me. And if it doesn't, then you're going to come back and tell me, you told us that would be the last one, which was your reminder to me. So, what is 3 months?
So
from
90
now?
days would be 2/13.
Yeah, after
213.
we'll accept our punishment.
And that's the actual hearing date, so compliance would be a couple
2/11?
of days before that.
Let's make it 2/11, 2/13. That'll give them the max amount of time they can have almost, and give you enough time to go at least get a call from them. 2/11, 2/13, and what's the amount?
Your previous order had a $150 a day fine.
Okay. That's fine. Good luck.
Thank you.
The saga continues. Yeah,
Thank you,
I
sir.
would
Next.
see him in Costco and recognize him, you know?
Next is 19-0871, 390 South State Road 7, SCG Buckingham Square LLC.
Okay. You've
I
only
would like
missed
to
one
enter the
person
following
so
into
far.
evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
You people must have a huge toner bill. Okay. Not my favorite plaza. I don't do a lot of Michael shopping. Here we go. Signed green card equals service. Boom.
Surely. My name is George McArdle. I'm an attorney, and we've recently become counsel to SCG Buckingham.
Can you spell your last name?
Surely. McArd as in David, LE.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the signed green card.
Mm-hmm.
Page 2 of the order.
Okay.
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
Surely.
And exhibit 3.
Turn it on.
Photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No, I do not.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so what's the issue here? We have landscaping also problematic.
Yes.
All right, so, all right, Mr. McArdle, tell us what your client's planning on doing with this property, since they just purchased it or acquired it somehow.
Yeah, the problem that the Buckingham is facing is that there are structural and apparently design issues with the subsurface and with the irrigation. And this is causing water to be retained on the property. And the landscaping is sitting in this water for extended periods of time. Even with the sprinkler system turned off, there is still too much water for the landscaping. What we've looked at, and we've asked Bermuda Landscape and Design, and a couple of the gentlemen from that company went over again and looked at the property today. And we have a proposal from them, which was submitted to the city, to do the items on the city list, numbers 1 through 10, and 19 and 21. Those are the items along the road at the front of the property. That's an area that does not have the same problem with the water retention that we have inside. Now, in September, we instigated litigation against the former owner of the property, the general contractor, some of the subcontractors, and the design professionals, because we feel they are responsible for the elements of construction and design that were not done properly that's causing the water retention. Now, the problem we have is if we were to replace the landscaping on the inside of the project where the water is being retained, it's simply going to die again. And ultimately, when that area is dug up to do the repairs for the subsurface and the drainage, all that landscaping will be destroyed again. So that while we think it makes sense to go ahead and do the replacement where we believe the landscaping will thrive because the water is not being retained, it is really not sensible or a good use of money to go ahead and replace the balance inside, which probably will not thrive and which will have to be removed, destroyed, when we dig up the entire parking lot to do the work that has to be done post-litigation.
Okay. And how long has this litigation been going?
She didn't say.
We filed the litigation at the end of September. We were retained in September and filed the litigation.
So we're probably a couple years still out?
Could very well be. You know, hopefully there was a pre-trial mediation, and there, of course, the court will order mediation under the litigation now, and hopefully there could be a settlement, but the litigation could certainly take a year or 2 years, no question.
At
sir.
minimum, at least, because I know if I filed something right now and, you know, I played around with a little motion to dismiss stuff and got an answer out of them and got it to issue, send in a trial notice, the trial notice would be a year from that date. That's kind
Could
of what
very
they're
well
running.
be, yes.
All right, so what does the village think of all this? Do you want to be embroiled in their litigation, or does that seem like a
No,
little
but-
bridge too far for you guys?
The issue here again is to keep continuing these things month after month after month, where
Right.
there's
well,
no end in sight, becomes difficult for the village. And there are things on this list, there's prohibited landscaping on the property that doesn't have anything to do with drainage that could be addressed now.
Oh, and they're already admitting that the perimeter is not a drainage issue area,
Right, so,
and they haven't really done anything with that, and I'm looking at probably a year or two of litigation before they do, and I don't know that they want to destroy their evidence, but I also, you know, don't know that the village gets to sit around and watch your property in a state of disrepair for the next 2 years while you think it's cheaper to wait.
right, this again, we were asking to establish a new compliance date and a new fine starting date, fine assessment start date, not a status/fine assessment. So that can be 4 months from now. We're not unrealistic about what is happening, you know, on his part, but to continue this every month, we're not amenable to today.
Okay. They'll bump you 4 months down the road and see where you are, and that's pretty much when, you know, hopefully you'll get something going, but it's not going to sit there and last forever. I mean, I can't wait for a lawsuit to be over. You know, if I waited for everyone's lawsuit to be over with their insurance companies before they did things, you know, half the roofs in the village wouldn't be fixed after a hurricane.
Well, perhaps there's some compromise we can work with the staff
Well-
between now and the 4 months and try and do something
Right, well,
that
if
will
you do
satisfy both.
something, if you do something on the perimeter that's, you know, helps out your cause, that's wonderful, and that may buy you some more delay time. If the village suggests it, I'll of course go along with it. So, but it does give everyone, you know, a date to work for. So what are the dates here now?
It would be compliance by 3/11 or the 3/13 fine assessment hearing, or your previous order had a $50 a day fine.
Okay.
March is 3/9/3/11.
I'm sorry.
At
3/9.
least someone has a calendar. Okay,
I
3/9, 3/11 is,
I was even looking at the next month.
all
Sorry
right,
about that.
and 50?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At least they're not trying to nail you with a $1,000 a day fine, so.
Well, we appreciate it, we really do.
3/9, 3/11, $50, and that takes a lot of the second row out, doesn't it?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is 19-1120, 11440 Okeechobee Boulevard, 399 Palmetto LLC.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service. Surprised the power company's not taking those out.
Khalil Coker.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation.
I didn't get his
The signed green card.
Sure.
I didn't get his
Exhibit 2
name.
is ownership.
Khalil Coker, we're gonna get him to spell his last name.
Photographs of the violation.
Spell like Khalil for the first.
What was the first?
Khalil. Mr. Coker, could you spell your name for us? She's
Sure.
sitting there wondering.
Kaleel. Last name is Coker. All right.
Any objection to these
Not
documents?
at
sir?
all, ma'am.
Thank you.
Khaleel. Coker.
Lou, spell the first name.
K-A-L-E-E-L.
Kaleel. Last name is Coker.
Thank you.
See, I got
You're
that the
welcome.
first time.
Got it.
All right, so you have a dead pine tree, you know?
It's a little bit much more than a dead pine. We first had a violation for the painting of the building, which we subsequently complied with. On October 30th, I did supply a new landscape plan with revisions. I was called last Thursday to the office to realize that there was a problem, so I did rectify the plan review yesterday with Lou in the office. So I'm just waiting for a permit to be issued, and then we will be able to to complete the landscape. I'm asking if I could get another 30 days until the permit is issued and compliance to have it done.
Okay, that sounds reasonable to me. Let them finish whispering over there.
If we could just get from Mr. Coker his representation, we got his name, but are you representing 399?
I'm representing 399 LLC.
He is $3.99.
They're the current owner?
The ownership changed, the building ownership changed as of last Thursday, but we're still honoring we're still going to be honoring our side of the bargain to have this violation complied with. So I'm still representing the past owners of the building as of now.
Okay, so you're gonna have to cite the new people anyway. If you don't fix this, we'll give them a little time to fix this.
Oh, no, so I'm asking if we could get
30 days.
30 days. If I get the permit issued, we should be able to have this done in 30 days.
Okay, and the
Well-
permit's submitted?
It has been submitted, yes, sir.
But it hasn't been issued. is
Has
the
not been
problem.
issued
The
yet, no,
compliance
no.
date was 11/8. So we're at a fine running on this property. It's 5 days. The village is amenable to reducing the fine amount from your previous order, which is $75 down to $50, but to start a running to ensure that this does get resolved.
It will be resolved. If I had the permit, it would have been taken care of. The painting was complied with on November 3rd. So I was way ahead of schedule. I just couldn't get through the landscape revision on time to have this done, man.
Okay, so you had to revise the landscaping plan to do this?
It was submitted. Lou will tell you. I submitted it on October 30th, but there's an issue, and I just resubmitted yesterday.
Submitted was not a Royal Palm approved landscape plan. So I had to call him and tell him when he needs that plan, so he came back in and got that.
Okay. His last shot. We're gonna give him the 30 days.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
What is this?
What's the compliance date, please?
What is our, was our 12,
12,
12/9, 12/11? Is that,
It's
that's not,
12/9, 12/11.
okay. A little less,
And
a little less than 30
maintain
days.
$75 or $50 a day fine.
Well, 12/9, 12/11, 75, and hopefully it'll be done. I'm pulling for you, sir.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you. Thanks, Village.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Now we're moving to the fine assessment hearings. Second one down, 19-1041, 229 Las Palmas Street, Magda A. Villarino and Julian A. Cuba.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a signed green card, you have service.
Can you state your name for the record?
Villarino Magda.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation. Page 2 of the order with the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
What?
Do you have any objection to these documents?
But what is the violation?
Work done without a permit?
Well, when I came last time, I don't have the permit yet, but they give me for the September 26th to finish with everything, and I finished everything. It's done with the permit and everything.
Okay, hold on. We'll get to those merits. Do you have any objection to these documents themselves? Okay, and then
All
you
right.
can explain to the magistrate. what you want.
It admitted without objection. All right, so there's
The-
more to the story. I
The
think.
roof structures that you have there, the two structures that have roofs on them, those need a permit.
What? My English is not good, I know. What I need a permit?
Structure here with this roof on it, that needs a permit. And
But
this
I-
structure over here needs a permit.
But when I asked for the permit,
You got a permit for pavers. but you
uh-huh,
did not
and
get- you
I
did not
put
get
this.
anything for the-
I put this on the
You
plan and,
didn't say anything about that on the permit, so that's gonna be a separate permit.
I didn't know that. I was thinking everything was on the same,
See, I built a playhouse in my backyard, you know, and I live here in the village, and I put a lovely roof on it. It actually matches my house. I had to get a permit for it, so.
and then I had to go again at the office and I get the permit for that?
Yeah, I mean, these are structures. They tend to blow around in hurricanes. That's why they made me put straps all over my playhouse. This guy said, you gotta go to Home Depot or Lowe's and go find hurricane straps and put them on. And I put every freaking hurricane strap I could find on that thing, and they passed me. So now I gotta try to tear it down someday, and it's gonna be a joy to do because it's got hurricane straps everywhere. All right, so we still have structures on the property. They still
Been out of
exist.
compliance for 13 days, so we're asking for a fine of $325 and continuing.
You need to go get yourself a permit just to stop these fines. We're at the point where, you know, you could have put it on the, on the permit request, but
If
you
I
only have.
take off all that, I have to get a permit anyway, or?
If you
Because
take
I
the-
can take off that.
If you
I
take
don't
those
want-
off, the
Of
fines
course,
stop. But
yeah.
you have to call her to make sure she
You
can
would
come
you
by
would
and
have to
vary.
remove both of those structures.
Okay,
Okay.
I will do that.
All right, it's,
I don't got
okay,
any
the
more.
fine is 325 plus continuing. And if you're going to remove them, please call them as soon as you do it so they can stop the fine.
Okay, and I have to pay something?
You will until, well, the fine will continue until you move those structures. If you move them tomorrow, it'll stop.
Okay,
Once she gets correspondence from the code officer that she's complied, she needs to not just remove them, but call and get an
Well,
affidavit.
that's what I'm saying. She needs to call and make sure they're inspected.
Right.
Correct.
I'm not
Okay,
worried
is-
about the
is I
affidavit being
remo-
issued. I'm just worried about the action being done, so.
And it being witnessed by the code
It's
officer.
got to be witnessed by the code officer, or
Correct.
there's no one who can fill out the affidavit, so.
okay, if I remove this tomorrow, I call to the village office? And
Okay.
you're going to get,
She will go by and say, make sure they're gone.
Then the lien will stop,
okay.
all right? Thank
Great.
you.
All right, granted, next.
Page 3, 19-1177, 150 Preserve Drive, Claudette Forbes, Williams Estate.
Truck.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. I did not have service, but they're here, so
Okay, well, they're here.
they're here.
So if they weren't here, we'd have a problem. All right, we have here. You won. All right. He's there, so obviously service was had somehow. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Kari Williams,
Spell the first name, please.
Khary,
And your relation to Claudette Forbes, Williams Estate.
her son.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into
Williams.
evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
I do not.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have a Mercedes without a tag, or at least without a valid tag.
Yeah. I was kind of unaware at the time. I was out of town on work at the time of the violations were issued, so it was complete ignorance on my part. It's just something I inherited and I've taken over, so kind of just fell fell wayward.
Well, we're at the part of this program, which is fine assessment, so there had to be a violation order issued earlier, correct?
There was, it was stated 10/15/19, and
I
required compliance by
wasn't there
10/31.
Yeah,
at the time.
they had to have mailed it to,
I understand that. I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
I work out of town,
Right.
and then I come back in town. So when I saw that the violation was issued, I put in a plan to fix it. It's currently been taken care of as of today. So that's pretty much it.
what do you mean it's been taken care of? The tag's been reissued, or?
No, I moved the vehicle from the property, and then I'm getting the tag taken care of as of this moment.
All right, so the vehicle is no longer there?
It's no longer there.
All right,
Okay, I need to go out tomorrow because I was
Oh.
there today and it was still there.
It was there, but I have moved it since then.
Okay.
all right, so we're at the part of our program where you're gonna get the $325 fine because
It's
it.
actually $650, it was a
Oh,
$50 a day
$650.
fine.
All right, it's a $650 fine.
Any possible way that could be reduced?
Not tonight, that's a down the road hearing, so
Okay.
you've gotta get to the compliance part.
Okay.
So she's gonna go by tomorrow.
Okay.
Just, you've asked, right? And
I'll go out
you can do that,
tomorrow.
Dina? All right, Dina will go by tomorrow and stop the fine.
Okay.
So it will stop. You get your affidavit of compliance in the file. You know, this is one of these things where if you put it in the garage, it's fine. Or if you get the tag renewed, it's fine. It just needs to, be one or the other.
Understandable.
My mother's about to give me her 1984 turbo diesel Mercedes. It's a cool old car. I'm gonna put a antique tag on it. It'll cost like nothing.
Okay.
Okay, but you just need to get it fixed, and she'll go by tomorrow and make sure it's done.
Right, well, he said
Okay.
it's gone, so.
Yeah.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And they can't, if
It's an estate.
it's an estate, so they probably won't do anything with the foreclosure of this. They'll just let it go, and you can work out something with them.
All right.
Great. All right, next.
Thank you.
Next is 19-1035, 116 Sunflower Circle, Alina Baeza.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, you have a signed green card, and this makes Mr. Reed's garage look good. I thought I saw him just wander through again.
State your name for the record.
Alina Chavez.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation with the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is photograph of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you. And just so we're clear, your last name previously was, you're the respondent, correct?
Right, right.
Baeza. Thank you.
That's my maiden name.
All right, so Alina Beza is now, Alina Beza what?
Chavez?
Chavez.
With
Okay.
an S or Z?
Z.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so garage door is obviously in disrepair.
Yes, my mother's trying to replace the garage door instead of just fixing it, and she is on a fixed income. She's trying to raise the money. I thought I could help her. So far, I haven't been able to help her. I have 3 grandkids that I'm raising, so I'm struggling myself. So she's asking to see if she could have a little bit more time. If she cannot raise the money, she has like $900 that they quoted her $1,900 to replace the garage door, and that was like the cheapest that we could go with. And she's just asking for a little bit more time to see if she could raise that money. If not, she's just gonna have to try to fix the panels on the bottom and see if that's okay.
Yeah, I think after Mr. Reed's experience, I don't think we're gonna find anyone who's gonna fix the panels on the bottom. That looks like another one of those big wooden garage doors that are no longer in style. Okay.
Unfortunately, again, we're at the fine assessment
I
portion.
understand.
A couple of months were given in your previous order for compliance, so it's been out of compliance for 5 days. We're asking for a $125 fine and continuing.
See, the problem is, if you showed up for the violation hearing and asked for additional time, that's when I have the latitude to do this. And usually, the village is like 45 days on their orders normally, or 2 months. So it
She
gives-
was here, and you
Oh,
did
she
give
was?
her a lot
I
of
was gonna
time.
say-
I gave her
That
time?
hearing was in September.
Oh, okay, never mind. You've had months then.
Yeah, I know it was like 2 months from the hearing from when I was here. She's
Yeah.
just in a fixed income and she hasn't been able to. She's, raised all
Oh.
the money to get it done.
Tell her
Um,
to keep trying, but, and she can come back for a reduction hearing later, but there has to be a time that, that it stops, and this is the time now. So this is what, 125 plus continuing?
125 plus continuing, yes, sir.
So does that mean it's $125 and then we come again, or is it $125 a day? I'm sorry, I don't.
It's $125, and it continues to accrue at $25 per day, every day from starting tomorrow. The $125 covers you through today.
Okay, I guess I'll let her know that. I don't know how she's gonna do it, but I will let her know.
You only can do what you can do.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
There's no way that we could have like another month or something like that?
you had a couple of months, is this our homestead property?
Yes.
Okay, well, they can't foreclose on homestead, so the fine will just sit there and accrue until you stop it, so just get it stopped.
Okay,
Okay? Okay, granted. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Next is 19-1183, 129 Sparrow Drive, Shabbat Jewish Center of RPB, Inc.
I'd like to enter the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order, finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS4 under permit information.
All sign permits. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service. All right, could you state your name for the record, sir?
Nachman Strux.
Could you spell that, please?
Nachmen. Last name is Chtroks.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation, signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is photograph of the violation. Exhibit 4 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Any objection to these documents? Thank you.
Okay. Now, we had previous issues with the property that you resolved, I remember.
Yeah, it's still one issue. But this still one issue that I'm working on. That's the guys who paid for the permitting for the car. But that's not now. But now we're talking about the trees. I paid a company to take down the dead tree, and I asked him about the permits, and he said if we replant them, we have to. And then I spoke just before the last hearing. I was due to just before the holiday. I wasn't able to come here, but she said that it needs. Everything was good, just we need the permit. And there was that small dead tree. That's a minor one. I didn't notice it, but the big tree that was dead was taken down. Now this company, I told him he has to get the permits because the village don't give it to the owners. You got to be a commercial guy. I've been going back and forth with him, and the last thing he told me was just at the beginning of the month was that he's going to be at least another 3 weeks because he's out of town. He's out of the area to do a job. So I went ahead and got someone who can help us out, who is a landscaper. He started to do it this week, and he said he'll be finished by the end of the week, putting in for the permit and getting that small tree down. So I can say within a week and a half, the permit will be in and the tree will. But he said that the village will take him 2 weeks to get the permit. So it's going to take him. He'll apply it by the end of this week. He said already be applied. Even though this guy who I paid, it's there's nothing I can do to run after this. I'm saying we're trying. I have all the text of going after him, but he's not getting it done.
What's the village's position?
Unfortunately, again, we're at fine assessment. That's been
She's
out of
hard.
compliance for 13 days, so we have to ask for a fine of $325 and continuing.
Yeah, this was.
Meaning it's out of my hand. I'm saying in a certain way. If I was able
there's more than one contractor out there.
But
down
we
trees.
already paid, and we don't like to. We're a synagogue. We don't have extra funds to just pour out.
Understood, but then you're not. You've paid the other guy, but now you're facing fines from these guys. you know.
Right, so what I'm asking is that within 2 weeks, it's gonna be taken care of. I have
Well,
another
in
person.
2 weeks, that'll stop the fine. I mean, you know, you didn't show up last time and get more time. I don't know why, you've been here before.
I said I couldn't, I was not able to make up last time. I didn't realize there was a violation until I just spoke to her before the day. I told her I was not able to come. Because I thought we took care of everything, and I called her just to make sure that everything was taken care of, and she told me no, the permit wasn't in.
When you do put the permit in, make sure you put the other tree on it as well, the tree that
No,
has
I
already
told
been
him,
removed.
But once again, if I would be waking that company that I paid for, he told me I have 3 weeks, so that's why we went, someone else to do it for us. This is like, we're paying double, but just because I'm not able, as the owner, I'm not able to put the permit myself.
Right, well, it's not a homestead type property, you are.
Right.
Basically a commercial landowner.
Right.
So you have
But when
to
we
take
get sometimes
responsibility for
a
those.
contractor who puts in things and then doesn't finish his job properly, we're
But once
faced with
again,
this.
that's not the village's fault.
Sure.
Okay, what's the position, you just want the fine to start?
We are here to ask for a fine to start. It's been out of compliance, so whether he complies in 2 weeks or complied the date that was required in your previous order, it's still out of compliance, so.
Okay, what's the fine?
325 and continuing.
I'm gonna grant the fine. You've had some time, you pursued your own method of, trying to do this, and you really needed to pursue somebody else, so granted 325. All right, next, please.
Next, we're going to violation hearings, all the way to page top of 6, 19-0998, 1268 Jumbo Court, Carolyn M. Schlanger.
Code section is 622108.4, water heater installed without a permit. I observed this 6/21/19. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 6/21/19 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
That's what happens, they just leave them lying out in the front yard. All right, you have service via posting, so you can proceed. Please state your name for the record.
Carolyn Schlanger.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1.
But it's not my water heater. My original
Hold on,
water
hold on.
heater's in the garage.
Hold on. We'll get there. We gotta get through the documents. We'll get there. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation.
I called up immediately. I spoke to someone. They said it was already, don't worry about
We're
it.
not at that point yet, we're just trying to get through the documents, you keep stopping her.
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Do you have any objection to the documents? Just the documents. You can
I guess
explain.
not.
Okay. Admitted without objection. Now we get to the merits.
Okay.
All right, so we saw a toilet and a water heater out at the trash.
The water heater, when I wrote it, I spoke with her and we tried to set up an appointment to go out to re-inspect because she said it wasn't hers. So we said we have to inspect the property. And after, I don't know how many phone calls, I finally reached her. We set up an appointment. Linda and I went over. It was within 10 minutes of setting it up. And when we got there, she wasn't there. And I can't reach her. I could not reach her after that. So we're here now.
I called 5 minutes before the time of being there because I was at the laundromat. That's not my water heater. I don't know anything about a toilet or a water heater. Mine's in my garage. Everybody's having to fix things. We built our homes 19 years ago in our section of Wyndham. It's a constant. We live very close to each other, and it's a zero lot line, so people put things out. That's not mine, and I called to say I'll be like a few minutes late. I was trying to get the stuff in my car. I got home 4 minutes after our time, and you had put your card on. And I called immediately back. I called random other times. I went to the back of this place, in the back, and I was in and out of the hospital. So we could set up another appointment. You can see that was not my water heater. I had nothing to do with it.
The problem is I can't reach you, and I did not
Because-
receive another phone call
But I
from you.
called and I left you messages on your voicemail.
No.
Okay.
Well,
What
did.
is?
I
what
have
is-
another
we're in
phone
a
now. It
violation hearing
broke.
Stage now?
This is a violation hearing, yes.
I'm
sir.
saying if you
Compliance
want to
stage.
set up an appointment,
If you want to
that's
set up
fine.
an appointment, we don't need to do that now in the middle of the hearing. What do you want for
We're
this?
asking for compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8/2020 fine hearing or a $25 a day fine.
Okay.
You want to call me tomorrow and set up an appointment?
Sure.
I'll come out tomorrow.
no problem.
All right, I'll
Okay.
sign the order.
Sorry I talk too much. I don't.
Thank you.
Have a
Next
good
is
evening.
19-1342-10198 Yeoman Lane, Winfield, and Julie A. Trowbridge.
12.
Code Section 9-4, the fence is in disrepair. I observed this on 9/6/19. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 9/9/19 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
I'm going to teach you guys how to use contrast. It's like the darkest exposures of these fences,
Well, it's a,
unless it's just a really dark green fence. All right, you have service via pub or via posting. You can proceed. Sir, your name is?
Winfield, Trowbridge.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, and the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violations. Do you have any
Okay,
objection
looks
to
much-
these documents?
No.
All right, no, admitted without objection. I can actually see it on the screen here. Much better exposure there than the printed ones.
okay,
Okay, you get a little bit of a pass there.
thank you.
So I see the pickets at the top are broken, and a number of the ones on the picture I can see, which seems to be a shot from the street. Tell me about the fence.
He has done some work to it, I noticed today from Friday, so it must have been over the weekend, that the one side, he's trying to repair it some, but there's a pool in the backyard, and the fence is still leaning, and this side around the front still needs to be repaired, but the other side where you put up the metal rod, that can't be there. It needs to be repaired properly, but it's still leaning. So,
Yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
lean, it's gonna lean until I properly install the fence.
Okay,
Okay, so you're
I
not,
have no choice on that.
Okay.
The hurricane blew it down, I put it back up, and that's how I had to strengthen the fence up.
okay,
Because the ground gets so saturated there when water comes through. So I had to do that. But I have all the material for the fencing and everything. I have the permit papers right here to redo all the fencing, but you guys want me to jump through hoops to pull a permit to put a fence up. So what's our
well, what's our is me.
final?
I'm the final, and I say you get to do it by X date or you get fined. So if you're, what's your problem with the hoops? You got to put a, survey in?
No, I got to put a survey in that cost me an extra $300.
Okay.
I gotta draw a drawing of the fence going up.
Okay, so they've said no $300, no survey, you can use an old one.
Well, the old one they said was not good because it's not dated properly. It's out of date. It's from 10 years ago or something.
Not for a fence.
Yeah, for a fence. That's what you
no,
guys told me.
that's wrong, and you're listening right now.
Okay.
You don't need a new survey for a fence.
Oh, okay.
If you're putting in pavers or driveways or things, you need a new survey
Okay.
because you're creating more impervious space,
Okay.
which keeps it
Well,
from
somebody
draining.
at their office told me I need a new survey.
That's why I'm the final.
That's why I've been
All right, stop,
trying
stop,
to get
please,
the survey.
Please, sir. I'm just trying to get through this quickly.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some
I
time,
understand.
but you got to calm down here. All right, so you don't need a new survey.
Okay.
You can draw the fence on the existing survey. It might even show it there. You can get your permit. If you got your materials, that's all good.
Yep.
And you'll fix it, and what are you gonna give him?
Compliance by 12/26 or the
Can you get it done
1/8.
by Christmas, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. So 12/26.
Or 1/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
1/8/25, and like I said to everybody else, once you get it up, call them ASAP.
Yeah, I will.
And they'll inspect it too. I mean, I remember I put my own fence up. I borrowed an auger from a guy. I bought a nail gun. It was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, no,
and I'm like, oh my God, some of these things might be 6'3" because of the way that they
Right,
looked
right.
at it and went, fine, good, bye. So it's all good. So
Before you finish this case, we need to correct a typo on the agenda, the PCN number. The fifth number says 04, it needs to be 06.
okay. Your motion to correct is granted. All right, you're gonna get an order in the mail, get it done by day before Christmas, or actually get it done.
I'll be before that. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Next, please.
Bottom of page 7, 19-1356, 1050 Serenade Circle, Brendan E. Chu and Taylor Sutton.
Code sections 2657 in place structure without a permit and possibly in the setback area. I observed this violation on 9/9/19. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/9/19 and posted it to the property as well. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Okay. All right, you have service via posting. You can proceed. Could you give us your appearances for the record, sir and the ma'am?
Brendan Chu.
Taylor Sutton.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation.
Yeah.
And Exhibit 4 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. So you got one of those lovely little play structures?
Yes.
Mine's bigger. Mine was 8 feet by 10 feet, 2 stories, 13 feet tall, matching roof,
Yeah.
slide, 3 hurricanes, not even a shingle got disturbed. All right, so, and I had to permit it. And then the funny story was I called one person and said, don't bother to permit it. And I called another person who said they're the village attorney because they were, and they said, that thing's going to be tall. You better permit that thing. And they were right. I'd had kids stop and fall off their bikes riding by. So you don't get the excuse from a permit that I have to get, right?
They have applied for it.
So give them tons of time. They've already applied.
They did
Just
apply.
needs to be
so
moved
hopefully-
like a few feet.
Yeah, you just have to be out of the
I'll-
setback
I'll-
area.
I'll move it
And that's
from the
just
setback
because
area.
there's underground stuff there.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem, they will come through with an excavator and chew your stuff
course.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to be out of there. So
Compliance by 12/26. or the-
12/26 will get you there.
Or the 1/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Got it.
Thank you.
So once I move it tomorrow, do I call you, Margaret, and you come out and look at it? Or?
No, you call me when you get your permit.
Call them when you get the permit.
And then,
the
once you
ins-
get your permit, you're gonna wanna set up a final inspection,
Okay.
so your permit doesn't expire.
All
Right,
right.
yeah, just get your, once you get through all the fun of getting the permit, get the guy out there to just sign off on it.
Cool.
And then, does it even come back to code once that happens?
Once he gets his permit, he's done with code.
How long does
Okay.
it take after we apply to get the permit?
Couple weeks, maybe,
Okay.
2, 3.
So we'll be good. We did it yesterday, so we'll have it by the 26th.
Yeah, and if all you have to do is move it a few feet,
Yeah,
you can actually get a tape measure out and just
Yeah.
figure out and call them and ask. They know what the setbacks are by that neighborhood.
All right. Thank you.
Great, congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
Next,
Right,
we're
next.
moving to fine mitigation hearings, top of page 9, 15-0494, 148 Cordoba Circle, Wilsando Altius and Nicole Cillian Estate.
Okay, so, yeah, I see these are in clumps. There's like a couple of these and a couple of those and a couple of these.
If we can handle them separately.
Okay, that's fine. All right, as I said, this is the portion of our program where this kind of goes backwards, so tell us who you are and.
We need to get
I'd
your stuff on the
like
record.
to
Wait
enter
one
into
second.
evidence my fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. All right, and the amount of the fine here is?
$38,700.
Oh, okay. All right, tell us who you are, sir, and why the fine should be reduced.
Bolsando LTS.
Okay. All right, that's part of it. And now, what's the
didn't
rest?
know the other
I said that was part of it, your name. What's the rest of it? Why should the fine be reduced?
Oh, everything's been taken care of as soon as I found
Understood.
out about it. And military service, I haven't been around. I acquired the property because my mom passed, and tried to get the place worked on while deployed. Come to find out that the individual who was working on the place said he was a contractor, but it was working on my retirement home, and walked out with everything that I poured into the house. And this is while deployed.
Okay. What is the village's response?
The village would be amenable to reduction to $8,158.31.
Okay, and that's what, twice your costs? Or your-
Yeah, the issue is this was out of compliance for 4 years. So it's a very large fine, and that's not the only case he has.
So as far as the driveway situation, I remember back in 2017, February 2017, around that time, I was back in the States, and right after it got completed, I called and spoke to someone and actually explained to them that I'm not in Florida. Gave them my information in case anything came up, that if they emailed me, I would receive it. And I did. I have evidence proving that back then, when it was done with the trees and everything that was getting trimmed around the property, that I called them and say, hey, this had gotten completed. Last I called, they said, whoever I spoke to said nothing was done and nobody called. And I personally called, and I sent pictures in saying that it was dated, but whoever I spoke to said that there was no date on it. So I had to go through Google to find out that it was time-stamped. So if you guys want to see it, when it was time-stamped. Stamp. There's the date right there, time-stamped, and the time.
And what are you letting us show them?
The driveway and the trees that were getting, because around the time that it was taken care of. So I understand that I didn't know up until I called recently that there was a fine that was getting accrued as these were getting completed. Like I said, I had no idea. So.
Okay.
And as far as 4 years, I'd have to dispute that.
All right, so you're saying that on the 2015 case, it was fixed by February of 2017?
Yes, I called.
Okay. So that'd probably take about 2 years off of this.
They'll cut the fine in half. The amount we're agreeing to reduce it to is less than that amount.
Right. All right, well, here's the next one. I got to kind of do these together. All right, what's the next one?
There's another one?
Yeah, you have two cases. 17-1186, 148 Cordoba Circle. Correction on the agenda, Cordoba's misspelled. Wilsando, Altius, and Nicole Stillion Estate.
All right, this is the house numbers one. How much is that?
Code officer
Like
needs
to
to get
enter
our
into
evidence in.
evidence, Exhibit 1, the fine mitigation request, Exhibit 2, order assessing fine, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and what's the amount of the fine on this?
$16,775.
All right, so you have a $38,000 fine that may just be 18, if I take your evidence and do that. But then you have a $16,000 fine as well.
Right. So those were taken care of around the same time.
Yeah, but you gotta call the people and
Sir.
tell them, I'm just saying, you know.
Again, if I'm deployed and I'm not here, there's no way I can call you, one. Now, as soon as I found out about the situation, I got to take care of, because I was told within 30 days I needed to get this taken care of, and there wouldn't have been any fines. I got it taken care of right on the spot. So as far as me calling in, I had no idea that I had to call in right afterwards, but as soon as I called in, I did say, hey, this did get taken care of.
Okay.
All right.
What amount can you pay for these? Because they're wanting $8,000 on the one.
And
And probably
$3,828.06.
$4,000 on the other. So that's 12 grand. What can you pay on these?
To tell you the truth, I am tapped out as far as, trying to keep this house. I'm in the process of trying to get it sold now because I can no longer, like I said, I poured close to $100,000 in the house, which, I was planning on coming back home soon as I, got close to retirement. I can't do that now because this guy just took advantage of my situation.
All right, so you're trying to sell the house. You've got these massive liens, so people don't want to buy the house.
Right. There.
And, all right, so do you have
I'm just trying to
closing
stay afloat.
scheduled at all?
They won't move on it until they said.
You have someone who's interested in buying
I have
it right
somebody
now?
who is interested, yes.
All right, I'll give him a shot at getting this sold. But I'm going to have to leave, I'm going to have to come up with an amount here. Yeah. So.
Can we go 2,000 each? I can call up somebody and see about getting that taken care of.
All right.
Just for your knowledge, Special Magistrate, there were a bunch of abatements that happened on this property as well.
Well, I'm going to give him a shot here, so we'll see. On 15-0494, 4,000 by, give me a date, 60 days out.
113.
By 1/13/20.
113.
Yep, it gives you a couple months to get rid of it. If it doesn't, it goes back up. And on the 17-1186, I'll do 1,000 there by 1/13. And if it's not paid off by 1/13, it reverts back. So good luck.
All right, and my total is
$5 grand. You said 2,000 each. I gave it just a bump more, and you have a chance.
Cool.
Okay?
Cool.
Take it. Go. Next, please.
08-2050-10215 Mikado Lane, Joel B. and Eva C. Wingate.
All right, read this one in, please.
Okay, we'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, agent authorization form. Exhibit 3, order assessing fine. Exhibit 4, verification of ownership. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. Which one are we on here? 1025 Mikado? Okay, right here.
And there's two cases. Do you want them read together?
I just needed to skip over the Ponce case, that's all. All right, so this one, it's Wingate's, okay.
082050 is the one we're on.
Got it. There's two of them? Let's see, oh, yes,
One
there are.
down.
Okay. All right, what's the amount in case number 15, or 08 dash, oh, this is gonna be huge.
38,200.
Not that bad. And the other one,
We need to get evidence in the record. Let me read it first. 09-1178-10215 Mikado Lane, Joel B. and Eva C. Wingate.
I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, agent authorization form. Exhibit 3, order assessing fine. Exhibit 4, verification of ownership. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and how much is this?
This one is $70,650.
All right, sir, who are you and why should this be reduced?
My name is Bruce Seidemann. I'm here representing my dad, William Seidemann. When we purchased the house back in 2014...
Hold on a second, Bruce. Spell your last name.
I'm sorry. S as in Sam, E-I, D as in David, E-R-M-A-N.
Okay, and your father purchased this house how?
Back in October of 2014. And basically, at the closing table, we had moving trucks. We had this all ready to go. My mom's been in nursing care for many years now, and we've come to a point where we didn't realize that the liens were this much. So we were forced basically into the closing. It was right at closing. We had moving trucks. We had everything. We signed all the documentation. We got into the house. We started making renovations. We put in windows. We had some other discrepancies with sheds on the property that were in the wrong position. We did not know this. We moved them. We got permits for that. We moved the sheds. The property's in compliance. The problem here is what we're trying to do now, we're trying to care for my mom, who's currently in Morse Life. And then the amount of money is exorbitant. And what we're looking to do here is to just bring these fines down to somewhat of a semblance that are affordable for my dad, who's living on a fixed income. And what we're trying to do here is just, they came to retire in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. And it's been nothing but a nightmare.
Yeah, they bought it from a private party, or they?
The home was almost on the steps of foreclosure.
You bought it at a foreclosure sale?
We bought it from a fix and flip gentleman who bought it off the steps of pretty much foreclosure. The prior people living in the residence, these are all their liens.
Well, they're yours now.
I understand that. But we were not under the impression that the liens were anywhere like this. We were told at closing. We had to sign a hold harmless. It was all forced into us. We had moving trucks. I'm dealing with 76-year-old people, 2 of them. One is at Morse Life. She's been there. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get these liens down to a semblance that's affordable for someone on a fixed income. If we're looking for some sympathy and compassion, please, sir.
Okay, well, here's the problem. You came here in 2014. It's now 2019. It's been 5 years. Why did you do it 5 years ago?
I've had back surgeries myself. I'm disabled. It's been a nightmare. I've been treating with doctors, but since we've moved into this house, I've been treating with doctors, and I am still treating with doctors.
Understood. What's the village's position here?
And, excuse me, also on the way, I'd like to know on some of these liens, because they're nuisance charges. Some of them are garbage pails and hedges over 4 feet. Now, I have a survey on the property, and on one of those liens, they're saying my hedges are 8 feet tall, and those are the neighbor's hedges, and my survey proves that.
I have structure in disrepair, grass exceeds height, fence in disrepair as my cases.
Okay, well, if I can approach and show you some pictures that were given to me by the village, I just want to.
Well, it really doesn't have anything to do.
Some of the liens are for hedges upon 8 feet, which total about 30,000.
I don't show that. I show a structure in disrepair.
Can I approach to show you, sir?
Sure.
Thank you. This is a picture from the village.
Yes, and
These are the
that's.
hedges. This is my property line. I have the survey to prove it. They're on the other side.
You're arguing to me. I don't care. Arguing is what we lawyers do, but you're arguing to me something that's not charged. So you could say.
This is part of the liens. All this is part of the lien.
It's not. These charges are specific. Structure in disrepair, grass exceeds height, fence in disrepair. It has nothing to do with that.
The fence is not in disrepair. The fence has been replaced. The windows have been replaced. The house is not in disrepair.
That's one of the first orders I signed for here. You can actually see more of I actually did more than D for Douglas. Look, okay. What you're saying still does not make it apply.
What do you mean?
You're like saying my car wasn't working
No, I'm saying
and
the
I got it
hedges are not
fixed.
ours, and they're
But the hedges, it's the third time. The hedges are not the problem here.
If the whole property's in compliance.
The property is in compliance now because someone fixed the structure, someone cut the grass, and someone fixed the fence.
It's gonna be easier.
It complied in March of 2014.
Correct.
Okay.
It complied both cases complied a
So,
long time ago.
okay.
What I'm here to do today is, again, because I'm trying to do a reverse mortgage or something to get the fees to pay for my mother's care. And I can't do anything because I have the liens.
Okay.
I couldn't even sell the home if I wanted. I'm stuck, similar to the gentleman that was here before me.
Okay.
I'm asking for a little compassion and sympathy.
Okay, well, you're getting a lot more in terms of length of things, but okay, what's the village's position?
On the first case, we would reduce to $8,034.68, and on the second case, $14,501.43.
So what is the total of that? I don't have a calculator handy, please, somebody.
That would be 22,005 approximately.
Is there anything better than that, please, sir?
All right, on case number 08-2050, I'll reduce the lien from $38,200 to $7,000 payable by 1/13 of 20. On case number 09-1178, I'll take the $70,650 lien and reduce that to $10,000 by 1/13/20. 17, it's another 5 off. Good luck. Try to get it sold or mortgaged or whatever you need to do.
So my question to you is, this is what the liens are now on the property, 17,000? Or you're
They are-
giving me till January, my question,
yeah.
to January, you said of January 13th of 20?
Yes.
To sell the home or to reverse the mortgage or?
Or do whatever you need to pay it off.
So if I come up with the 17,000,
You can pay it off.
and is there a payout? Can we make any type of payouts?
No.
So a 76-year-old living on Social Security has no type of payout, even if we come up with half up front?
I do not do financing. All I do is.
I'm not asking for financing, but, so.
You're asking for financing. You gotta get someone else to finance it for you. The village is not a bank. I've already done.
I have a
more-
question,
I've
please.
done more than they've asked.
Yes, sir, Mr. McGibbon. If the gentleman, Mr. Wingate, is now dead and I prove his death certificate, do these liens go away? Are they abolished?
No,
So whether he's dead or alive, the liens stay for life?
the liens stay with the property.
I see. I thought the liens were imposed on the previous owner, so
No,
he couldn't
they-
purchase another property. It's a question.
No, they go with the property. He couldn't get rid of the property.
Fair enough. So we're at 17,000 by January 13th?
Correct.
And if I pay that before Christmas, can I get a little more of a discount?
No,
That's the best you can do.
that's the best I can do.
I appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next.
19-0567-778 Carissa Drive, Jose A. Martinez.
You're a 19 case. At least it'll be low.
I have 154 Queens. No? 154 Queens.
They'll mail me something.
We will mail you something.
Thank you very much.
She just signed in. Oh. I had her here, that's why. Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right, we would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. What is the amount of fine on this property?
$1,725.
All right, Mr. Martinez. You are Ms. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Why should the fine be reduced?
I have a letter here from the structural engineer, and we've been, he did the whole structure and everything by wood beam, and we couldn't go that route because there's a window. So the next thing we did was a metal. So now we're installing a metal beam on the structure, and I have the letter that he signed and he stamped and everything. So I mean, I purchased a house and I still haven't moved in it. So, I mean, there's something that you know, that I'm still waiting for. Everything's already good.
Well, they wouldn't let you come up here if you hadn't fixed or cleared whatever the problem was. I just need to know why it shouldn't be $1,725.
I'm sorry?
Why should it be less than $1,725? You're asking for it to be less. Why? Or
Well,
what
because,
amount?
I mean, I was at his mercy, and, you know, that's the only structural engineer that called me back, and I couldn't.
So you're throwing the structural engineer under the bus. Okay, that's not a problem. All right, so what is the village's position?
The village would be amenable to reduction to $769.43.
How about $750 and make it a more even number? Okay.
By 113.
By 113. It's my day. Reduced to $750, payable by 113.20, or go back. Okay?
All right.
Thank you. Next is 19-0059, 171 Bob White Road, Raphael M. Toribio and Janelli M. Villar.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter request and fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. This is only May, it can't be, yeah. Well, how much is the fine?
$4,725.
Boy, I was wrong.
And there are 3 of these. Do you want them all read in now?
Is that just the case number 1, or is that the total?
That's just one.
Case number 1, sure, read them all in, might as well.
Next is 19-0598, 171 Bob White Road, Raphael M. Toribio and Janelli M. Villar.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and this one is?
$1,725. Next case is 19-0599, 171 Bob White Road, Raphael M. Toribio and Janelli M. Villar.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and I take it this is similar to the 1725?
1725, exactly.
Because they're the same day.
Thank you.
Or actually, they're within one case number of each other. All right, sir, you are?
Raphael Toribio.
Okay. Why should the fine be reduced? Well, you gotta come up with a reason. Sell me something.
Just they're high, that's all.
I mean, I understand they're high, but, you know, disabled unused vehicle, driveway stain, shutter closed, $4,700. Do you have an amount you're looking for? You
Just
got
way less
anything
than
for
that.
me?
I wasn't around, so I didn't receive all the warnings or whatever.
All right, who did get them? Was that Jenny?
Yeah.
And she didn't tell you?
But we weren't communicating.
Okay, why weren't you communicating?
Personal problems.
Good enough. All right, what is the village's position with regards to these?
In the first case, we would agree to reduce to $1388.12. And the second and third, $707.38 each, by 113.
They're better than you at this, because they at least gave me an argument and dump one by 75%, pretty much. So, all right, 1388.12, which is a very strange number, but I'll take it, by 113.20 on case number 19-59. Case number 19-598, reduced to 707.38 by 113. And the last one is 19-599, reduced to 707.38 by 113.
What did you do for the first one?
1388.12. I didn't make that number up. Someone else did. All right, you'll get an order in the mail.
Three orders.
3 orders in the mail, actually. 1,400. 27, 28.
address?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll get them in the mail.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
16-1374-11452 Okeechobee Boulevard, Hot Pie Real Estate Investments LLC.
I'm surprised the guy with the pizza shirt, huh? Okay, 16, ooh.
Okay, we'd
Okay.
like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. Since your name's probably not Hot Pie Real, what is your name, sir?
My name's John Reese.
R-E-E-S-E?
R-I-E-S.
Oh, R-I-E-S-E, not
Yes,
even
sir.
close. And your position with Hot Pie Real Estate Investments LLC is?
I'm the owner.
Managing member?
I'm the owner, yeah.
You're an LLC, you're the managing member.
Managing member, yes, sir.
Okay. What is the amount, oh,
The amount of the fine is $25,000.
we ignored this for a while. All right, Mr. Reese, why should the fine be reduced?
Back in 9/23/2016, I was notified, or this was gone with conclusion of law, and sections 1557, sections 2041, section 622, section 105.5, and 23-49 were satisfied according to this hearing on September 14th. The conclusion of the law said that section 2041 was not satisfied. So that's why it wasn't an intentional ignorance on my part. This was looked up and this was in my possession. So at that point, they were all satisfied. Then all of a sudden, quote me on the date, around 8/23/19, so it's a couple of months ago, there's some sort of amended order assessing a new fine, which is a total surprise to me. And I came in to talk to Linda, and Linda said I was at the meeting. I said, Linda, I wasn't at the meeting. Then after reconsideration, she said, okay. And when you had an amended of the fine, it opened up all those sections again. But those sections were satisfied earlier on. Then she said, okay, your banner's still in violation. And then I explained to Linda, I don't have a banner. She said, yes, and she produced a picture of a banner. So the banner is on,
There's the amended order.
let me get pictures of the production of that. And I have correspondence back and forth with her as well, both phone and email, is on the monument sign, which exists on the veterinarian, which was put in for, it's not my monument.
But your name's on it.
No, I had an agreement for a 7-day banner for grand opening. And the gentleman who owns that monument sign, oh, here we go. I have that agreement here. Wants to charge $200, if I can forward, I can give you this. Wants to charge $200 a month for it. And I said, I'll pay you for the 1 month. And he says, do not touch my monument sign.
Oh, this is the first time I opened it, too.
I said, okay. And I went to Linda. I said, Linda, this is not. And she said, John, you got to get that monument down, that thing down. So what I did was, I went there at night and I cut it down. And then the guy wanted me arrested. I said, no, I got a lawsuit going on.
Oh, do you at least have a police report or anything? that
I don't,
show you when it was
right
done?
now I got to settle with them. It's about $200 a month we're talking about for.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to prove, when this thing came down, you're newly arrested, you could give me a police report, that'd give me a date.
Oh, for an exact date? Yeah, okay. That I understand. Well, this is the reason why I'm asking for mitigation. Because I don't understand why it got amended, but that's, you asked me a question. I got to answer your question. I think I went off the topic of your question.
Yeah, you rambled, but that's okay.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's just, it's an extreme amount of money.
I give people time.
No, I
not
appreciate
to
that.
cut
I
you
appreciate
off.
it, but that's emotional, and that's not factual. The fact.
You want to vent, you got that part. Now let's get back and reel it back in.
Okay,
You got
got it.
$25,000 fine staring you down on something here.
Right.
And you've kind of given me a lot of rambly things. Why should
Okay.
it be reduced? It was not as many things. I think that's what you're telling me.
Okay, yes, and I was under the auspices that it was all satisfied, it was satisfied, and that the first hearing did satisfy that. But I was never notified about those hearings either.
Well, someone had to notify you because I specifically check service in every one of these cases, or I do not go forward.
I don't have a green card on it.
Well, it may not have a green card. It may have been posted. You may have walked
Posted,
into the
yeah,
office.
yeah.
So if it's posted,
Yes.
I have to agree with that because
Okay.
that's under Florida statutes. All right, what is the village's position?
Village
with
will
it?
reduce it to 5397.03 by 113.
That's a struggling business. That business will go out of business. It employs 40 people in downtown. And we have been touch and go that property to operate.
Okay, that was your last gasp there. All right, 4,000 by 113. Or you can shut it down or whatever you want to do.
That
it's
puts
all-
40 people out of business, Your Honor. Can't we can I sell that for 1,500? If we have to go another...
Get you on the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we just settle that for 1,500 on the fast? Because that will struggle. We will go out of business. And I really don't want to go out of business. I've been down here for 4.5 years, every day fighting. Every day fighting. And Linda's been on me every day if the grass is 10 inches high.
Okay. Your last gasp got you 2,000 by 113. Go away.
And if we need to correct it on the agenda, it should be lot 18, not lot 6, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lot 18 is fine.
I appreciate that.
We have a lot 18.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next.
All right, we have to swear all of them in.
All right. Is everyone left? Please raise your right hand. Say I do when we're done. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? They all do. Okay. Next.
Wait, hold on, give us 1 second, please.
Right here. And then second will be, are we going by the way they signed in, or?
Yeah, just in order.
Oh, so then Julie is here, she has 3 cases.
Which are the,
147 Heron Parkway, fine assessment.
right here.
And then she is also here for 68 Sparrow, which should be in the back on here.
So Julie's on page 3. Bottom.
We're gonna be starting on page 3, but not with, I don't
Right
believe with
here.
her.
But with someone else.
And then she's
Yes.
on a mitigation, 154 Queens,
And is that it?
for her, for Julie.
Who else? We're gonna do litigations.
Okay, then, we have Fred Carver, which is 148 Granada.
Hold on.
No.
She's this one too, though.
Yes. How do you keep your agenda? We gotta go back
Carver's
to the, to the beginning of the violations.
Okay, what's the address?
On 148 Granada.
Got it.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
And then we have 10290 Oliver Lane. Right there, Perry Martin. And then we have 297 Ponce de Leon. For their fine mitigation.
All right. Everyone wanders in late.
Should be right there. You want me to go tell the girls?
Yeah. So we're back to page 3, which is a fine assessment hearing.
And right.
19, second one from the bottom, 19 dash 1185 700 103rd Avenue, Thompson Logistics Assets LLC.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, you have a signed green card. So you have service. It's nicer than my 87 GT, by the way. I need a new paint job.
Alexander Colon.
Spell your last name, please.
I represent C-O-L-O-N.
And your affiliation?
I represent Thompson Logistics here locally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And then Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
The compliance is dated on the 12th.
Yes, 12th of November.
Okay.
Yes.
We had,
Oh, no, we're stopping right here. All right, admitted without objection? Now we can go. They just have to get their documents in. They love their documents. All right, so you have a compliance date of what, the 12th?
Yeah, I seen it on the 12th when I went out for my re-inspection for my pictures for hearing, and the car was gone. The
Okay.
vehicle was
Actually, it was
removed.
2 cars before. They were both what I call ungaraged collectibles. But okay,
yeah, the other one was sitting in the other parcel.
right.
And is another commercial owner. So they took care of that one. We took care of this one. We actually engaged with Sisters Towing on the 4th. We gave them the authorization to tow, but they couldn't get out there till, I think it was, we spoke earlier, I think it was till the 8th or something like that.
Okay, so you're saying they pulled it on the 8th?
Yeah.
And
So-
okay, so, and you're saying this is the 12th, so.
Right. I told him if he had any documentation to bring in.
Yeah, I brought the email I sent to them, the contract, and the authorization to remove.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alexander Coleman. I don't know if he's this, just somebody.
Yes, you can keep.
Okay. All right, any objection? I get to ask you.
No objection to these. Does he have anything showing that it was removed on the 8th?
I'll take his testimony if he's got all this other stuff. All right, so you got Sisters illegal park agreement here. You did that on the 4th, and you testified they pulled it by the 8th. What's the amount of the fine you're asking for?
Our fine would have been for 12 days, so that'd be $275 and not continuing.
So we're going to reduce it by another 4. How much
It
is
would be
it?
7 days at 25.
So 175, no
Not
continuing?
continuing, yes, sir.
Sweet. 175, no continuing. Thank you for bringing in some proof. I so love proof.
My pleasure.
No problem. We're keeping these, so this just gets put in there. Take care, you get an order in the mail.
Okay.
Pay it at your leisure.
Thank you.
Tell that Mustang guy to pay it.
Yeah, well, we don't know who he is, but,
Oh, well, I need parts.
yeah, I know, right?
I
Yeah.
could use a new engine. Mine only has 307,000 miles on it.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
It's a great
Sisters is
car.
actually, they're selling it for 45 days now. So
Hey, maybe I'll go look. Who knows?
nobody's interested.
Probably got a shot engine too. All right, next,
Staying on the
please.
same page, 19-1293, 147 Heron Parkway, SRP SUB LLC.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
And these people have some green grass. You have a signed green card, you can proceed.
That's the people behind them.
Oh, those
Yeah,
people
just in
have
the
some
back.
really good
Yeah,
grass.
they do.
Name for the record, ma'am?
Julie Hines?
Thank you. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order of violation. Page 2. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photographs, violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No, I do not.
Thank you.
Okay, so tall hedges, huh?
Yes, tall hedges in the rear of the property.
All right, so they can't be over 8 and they're taller than that?
Oh, yes.
All right. And how long have they been out?
For 13 days, so we're asking for
325.
325 and continuing.
Hi there, haven't seen you in a while.
Hello there.
Good, so you're gonna get them trimmed here soon? We hope.
Yeah. I know in these fine certification hearings, there's probably very little that I could say that would abate a fine in this situation. All I can say is the resident did have, I think they were confused about which hedge needed to be cut, because in the photographs that we have and that we provided, you can see on the 15th of October, there's 2 hedges that are perpendicular. And one hedge is cut professionally, beautifully. And honestly, the tree that we're looking at, or the hedge we're looking at, looks like a tree. It's a monster, it's huge, and I don't deny that. We do have it scheduled to be cut tomorrow, so I don't know if that...
We're just gonna, you can come back for a fine reduction hearing if you want. Just save up a bunch of them and just put them all together one time. All right, so is this 325 plus continuing?
Yeah, if we could. Yeah, that's correct. 325 and continuing.
You want her to go out day after tomorrow to stop the fine?
Oh, we'll call.
Okay. I tried to schedule it for you, but you can call. No problem. 325 plus continuing on this one.
We appreciate their time. I don't want to have her come out there, and if it's raining or who knows what's happening, I won't be able to cut it. But
Taken care of.
Yeah,
I
my former neighbor across the street just gave me a hedge cutting attachment for my gas trimmer because Vinny moved to Stewart, so it works really well. I mean, I'm just amazed. Look, I've been doing it by hand for years. All right, next, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is violation hearings.
Page what?
Page 5.
Got it. 20A.
19-1394, 148 Granada Street, Fred Carver Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do the rest of Julie's. Do we have more? Okay, 21. Sir, you are?
I am Fred Carver Jr.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is a page
Code
5.
sections
So.
are 2318B2, restricted trailer, not parked to code. I observed this violation on 9/25/19. Got the green card back signed but not dated. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and what was wrong with the truck or the trailer, just so he knows?
It has to be parked on the side of the house. He knows.
Okay, it was in the swale, so.
Actually, it was in my driveway.
And in the swale.
Yeah, the picture shows it in the swale, so you have a signed green card, you have service.
Thank you. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, and the signed green card. Exhibit 2, out of order, is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is an affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. So is this a finding of fact? Did he do it in time?
Yes.
Okay, finding of fact. This just means that I have found there's a violation because you parked it in the swale, but you fixed it in the time they requested. So you're not in trouble right now, but if you do it again, it'll be a repeat violation. They won't have to give you a notice. They'll just start fining you immediately. So either leave it on the street when you come by and park it, or
No,
park it in
it
the yard?
actually can't be on the street.
Okay. Well,
He
if it's-
needs to park it on the side of his house when it's at the house.
Well, if I'm in the process of moving something out of the trailer, I can't park it obviously in the street and block the
No, and if
street.
somebody was out there, but I've seen it
So,
parked on the
so we just need to
driveway.
make sure that we're very consistent with our observations, because there's quite a few other vehicles that are out of compliance when you look at our statutes and our codes and our.
Oh,
and our-
sir, believe me, I
So-
live here. I can tell you there's 100 violations where I live in
Right,
La Mancha,
right.
right here.
Well, I
And-
just want to make sure that, I move stuff and all the
Yeah,
time, and if I
I've got to
park.
tell you though,
Right.
90% of this stuff is complaint driven. So someone.
No, that's not true. No,
Okay.
not true.
Okay, so.
We generate most of our cases ourselves.
Okay, never mind. In that case, try not to do it again.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I pay taxes just like everyone else here, and I have a trailer, and I don't leave it there parked overnight. It's not there now, so I
If
just
you
don't
have
know where
if
we're
you have
going
a
with
problem
this.
with the regulations, I'll do what I tell everyone. It's go talk to your councilman.
Well,
There was a
that's
guy.
fine, that's
There
fine.
was a series of guys who used to come in here when they had vans, and these were all work vans, and you see them all over the village, and they had ladders on top, and they all said, we should be able to leave our ladders on top. It's no big deal. I mean, all these, and they went to the village council and they got the ordinance changed. So
Okay, that's fine.
if you want to get an ordinance changed, you go through the village council.
Thank you.
Otherwise- Okay.
All right,
Thank
great.
you very much. Finding of
Okay.
fact is granted. Next.
Next is page 6, 19-1332, 10290 Oliver Lane, Barry E. Martin.
22. All right.
Okay, code section is 06190A1. The roof is in disrepair. I observed this on 9/5/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 9/5/19 and were signed for on 9/6/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, you have a signed green card. You have service. Sir, you are? Your name?
Barry Martin.
Thank you, sir.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So he can't have a blue tarp on there without it being part of a repair? Is that the village regulations?
Right.
Okay.
I waited a while before I wrote it, so, and I haven't heard from the resident at all, so.
All right, sir. You obviously have a roofing issue because you have a tarp up there and you wouldn't have one if you didn't.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, you can't keep the tarp up there without getting a roofing permit.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so,
go ahead.
Okay, so I think maybe within the week of the warning, the notice, I had actually stopped in the office and spoke with, Diane wasn't there, but I spoke with someone at the office, letting them know that I am waiting on an insurance settlement, which actually finalized, I got the check as of last Friday. So I do have certain information that would state that.
Okay.
My home was, well, actually the roof was damaged in 2017, Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
Yes.
Pretty fast for an insurance company almost.
Yes. And so basically.
All right. Well, this is the violation hearing. So you've got your check. Have you picked your roofer yet?
Well, what I have done so far is the roof, the construction company I will do the work, I got an estimate of the cost, to have
Fine. So you got an estimate.
Yes.
You're going to hire them soon?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm trying to see that you have enough time to get someone to get a permit.
Correct.
When the permit's issued, then you can have that on there?
Yes.
All right. So What time were you thinking about for this?
Compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8/20
Yeah, okay.
fine assessment hearing, or
That's
25
plenty of
days
time.
fine.
All right, so you need to get a permit issued
Yes.
by the day after Christmas. And it usually takes a couple of weeks to have it issued, so it probably will need to be in at the early part of December in order to get done in a timely manner. I'm just telling you these things so you know.
Right. So with that permit issue, would it stop the fines or?
It stops the code enforcement process. You're now in the building department process.
Okay.
So you have 6 months from the date your permit is issued to have your roof fixed, and while that's going on, you can have your tarp up. Is that correct?
Well, if that's what it takes to protect the roof, yes.
Okay. So that's what I'm just trying to get
Yes.
everyone on,
Sorry.
Yes,
on
I
the same
understand.
page. So
Yeah.
once you get your permit issued, you should be good. And I've given you enough time, hopefully, to do that now that you have, A, the money, which is the most important part, and you have at least one estimate. You need to get that person to sign up and, you need to sign a contract with somebody and make sure they apply for the permit.
Okay.
Just say, and you are getting a permit, right? I need one to get out of my code enforcement problems.
That is correct.
Because I have a lot of people here who would love to hear that advice because they don't, I don't need a permit for that, and then they find they're in trouble, so.
Okay, so you're saying the permit would stop the violation?
Right.
And give me some time. You said 6 months?
No, you have until.
No, for the work.
The permit's usually valid for a period of 6 months.
180 days, yeah.
So, they want to get finished because they want to get paid, and you want to do this during the dry season anyway, which is the right
that's
time of
correct.
year for it. So you have until 12/26 to get the permit issued.
Thank you.
Then you're out of our hands in some other department.
I understand.
Okay?
Okay.
Granted, 12/26/1825.
Okay,
Next,
thank you.
please.
Thank you.
Next is page 7, 19-1350, 68 Sparrow Place, IH6 property, Florida LP.
Okay. 22, and you're really 20C.
Code section 06190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/9/19. Sent out notice of violation notice of hearing on 9/9/19. They signed for it on 9/11/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
It's weird. All right, you have a signed green card. You have service. Welcome back, Ms. Hines.
Name again for the record, please.
Julie
Thank
Hines.
you, ma'am. These are the exhibits that would you like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of hearing, notice of violation, signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
Sort of a streaky, stainy yellow. All right, we're looking at 12/26 on this?
11/29, 12/11.
Yeah, compliance by 11/29 or the 12/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
We were asking for 30 days to have it painted since the pressure cleaning isn't working.
Okay, well, this is when I have all the power in the world during these violation hearings, so we're going to make it the 26th to get your 30 days in there, 12/26.
12/26, thank you.
Or
Appreciate
1/8.
that.
1/8. I'm so drunk with power now. All right, 12/26, 1/8/25 is granted. See, you got something out of it.
We do our mitigation now? The reduction
Well,
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We like your
Thought I was
exercise.
on a roll, I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
No, get up there. Go. No. No, we don't want to disrupt the flow of the hearing.
We're back to page 9, fine mitigation hearings. Case 18-0507, 297 Ponce de Leon Street, Frank C. Shillo, David Begstein.
It should be Bergstein.
Bergstein, thank you.
I corrected it on the
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request, Exhibit 2, order assessing fine, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Is this Mr. Newsom's house?
Yes.
We know you by Johnny. He was there for a long time.
I heard good things about him.
He was a wonderful guy. Very nice guy. You're getting some benefits of that. Lovely fence.
Oh, did
I believe I drive that twice a day.
You told me
minimum.
last month when you came here, they greenlit the permit so we could get it done the next day.
I
We
know.
got it done and we put in, I thought you would enjoy the drive by now.
It's much better, much better. I don't like that pool with all those hundreds of kids walking by there, so it is just peachy for me now. All right, what is the amount of the fine on this one?
$11,825.
Okay, and tell me why this should be reduced.
We obtained the property on August 20th in a sheriff's sale. We did not have possession of it until September 10th. Last month when we were here, when we got the $275 fine for the fence, the next day we were greenlit to go ahead with the permit to get it replaced. These weren't our fines because I didn't own the property, and we're asking for, relief, obviously, because complete relief would be great, because we put in a property that was an eyesore in the neighborhood. Clearly is we're fixing it up with all the permits, and
Oh, I'm sure there's a minor profit motive in there. All right, what's the village's position?
He bought it at sheriff's sale, so he bought it knowing the lien was
this
on
was
the
a
property.
litigation thing. We had to buy it at the sheriff's sale. We've been dealing with the neighbor across the street. I don't want to say her name, but everybody is aware of who it is, I guess. But we've been dealing with her for 6 years on this case. So we bought it. There were no bidders, so we won the sheriff's sale. But that's when we obtained the property. This was a litigation of 6 years.
Okay. Do you have any amount?
Yeah, the village will agree to reduce it to $2,733.74 by 113.
And what is your amount?
I was hoping for zero, but I mean, I'm trying to work. I mean, like I said, every time they've asked us to do anything, we've done it the next day. So we're not looking,
$2,200 by 113.
Okay.
Okay.
Just an audience of one.
Someone's happy. Okay.
She has to drive home. We're done, and I knew Julie has one letter. Can I ask a quick question? Are we done? We're finished?
Yeah, you're done.
Can I ask a question on this property? Ms. Shillo and left.
I should stop you there. We shouldn't get that on the record, whatever the question is.
No,
but we're still on the record, and we have 40 more cases to hear, so we shouldn't go above and beyond this
I have a
case.
question just from somebody, just as the special magistrate. That's why.
No,
we
let's-
can't entertain that here.
No, sorry. It
Thank you.
involved things outside of our realm here. Try to stay in my lane. Julie, back up.
Yep, same page, 18-0812, 154 Queens Lane, 20171, IH borrower LP.
We're taking a break after this one.
We have to rush. We're at 8:15.
Yeah, well, you can't have me here, and I'm not going to do things if I have to rush like that. I'm not going to use my thing.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
What's the amount of the fine?
$12,500.
Ms. Hines?
Okay, yes, Julie Hines again, representing the owner. This was actually a case that was Ryan's, if you remember Mr. Finlayson.
Oh, yeah.
And this case is for stained roof and driveway. And the driveway was cleaned. And this fine actually really comes down to an issue we had with the roof. It's a very large roof, and it underwent, well, it stems from the storm at the end of 2017. Between September 2017 and April of 2019, there was over $35,000 of repairs and remediation to that roof. And it had sustained damage in the storm, hence the ugly blue tarp. Then we began a series of repairs to try to make do, and it didn't work. So they started to get their bids for a re-roof, and the roof is 4,165 square feet. They're trying to replace it with tile, which would be more aesthetically pleasing, and the bids were coming in over $50,000. So after a series of bids, they did finally, they ended up putting tile on the roof, and it did finally get re-roofed completely. However, it wasn't until February of 2019 that they got it re-roofed. So the whole thing is a $12,000 fine for a stained roof, which needed to be really re-roofed.
Well, they undercharged you. Like, okay, what is the village's position with regards to this lien?
Unfortunately, the village has to oppose reduction in this case, just given the length of time, and if it was an instance of re-roof.
Yeah, if they would have pulled the
Compliance was a
permit
year, right.
to re-roof it in the beginning, you would have not had the fines. It would have just stopped it, but.
You know what the irony here is, that you look at what we've paid in remediation and repairs and finally re-roofing it, it's $35,000 plus $12,000. So we're at about $50,000. Which was the bid
Which
at the
was the
beginning.
cost of the roof.
Which, if they would have just done that in the beginning, we wouldn't be here.
So, okay, denied.
Okay. Darn.
Pre-minor needs. We should have done it to begin with. All right, is that our end of our live portion? You can tee up the other ones. I'm taking a minute, I'm sorry. I have not had a break in years. So, we'll resume in 2 minutes. All right, page 1,
Yes, sir, we're back to
19-0539.
status/fine assessment hearings, 19-0539, 11614 Oleander Drive, Danielle A. Moore.
Okay, structure without a permit. And our code enforcement officer is?
Okay. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance and setting status fine assessment hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, we've signed green cards, or what passes for a signature these days. You have service.
Thank you.
What we have here, oh, that's the thing in the back, pergola-ish.
Yes, and she's still in the planning and zoning process, so we're asking for another continuance.
That's
and
fine by
requesting
me.
compliance by 1/7 or appearance at the 1/8/2020 fine assessment hearing or $25
Granted.
a day fine.
Granted, next.
Thank you.
19997.
Yes, we're now in fine assessments, 19-0997, 192 Royal Pine Circle East, Julio and Maribel Reyna.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a affidavit of posting, and never heard of the word mildewcide. What would you like?
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so $325 a day fine
25
and
plus
continuing.
continuing is granted.
19-1043, 361 La Mancha Avenue, Michael Sheets and Francis Eberhard.
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, the order finding violation,
Truck.
Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, affidavit of posting equals service. Some people shouldn't have planters. And I was wrong again, another car. All right, what would you like?
Again, it's been out of compliance for 13 days,
325 plus
and
continuing is granted.
19-1349, 306 La Mancha Avenue, Progress Residential Borrower 5 LLC.
Is that a Julie? No?
I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, order finding violation,
Some.
Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, signed green card equals service. That's like a 1960s or 70s tow truck. International Harvester, I believe. Signed green card, you would like
This has been out for 13 days at $50, so $650 and
650 plus
continuing.
continuing is granted.
19-1018, 10186 Patience Lane, Mohammed.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Flying stuff. You have an affidavit of service, so you do have service. What am I looking for? A fence leaning. Fence with all kinds of props. It's called a flying buttress. I was doing some in my daughter's history class. All right, what would you like on this one? 325 plus continuing is
25 and
granted.
continuing.
Thank you.
19-1345, 521 North State Road 7, Royal Center LLC.
I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service.
This has been out of compliance for 23 days, so we're asking for a fine of $1,150 and continuing.
We need helium. Sign is yes, we have helium. All right, 325 plus continuing?
Nope, 23 days, $1,150 and continuing.
1150 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
19-1186, 11020 Town Circle, RD Royal Palm Beach LLC.
Sprint. It'd be funny if it were a Sprint store.
I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Got shoulder problems here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Signed green card equals service. All right, what do we have here? Oh, banner placed for advertising. Is that on the new village across the street there?
Is this, yeah.
Yeah, is that on? Southern, yeah. So that was a new village or some name for it down there. All right, what would you like on this one?
We'd like to separate the order. So for the banners, a fine of $1,300 and continuing. It's been out for 10 days.
All right, that's the banner.
Yes. How much? $100 a day. And I'm sorry, it's 13 days. I think I said
Okay,
10.
13 days, well, 1,300 plus continuing at
Yes, and
100 a
then
day.
the business tax receipt is I'll split out those sections, but it'd be the amount of the business tax receipt license, plus the 25%, plus a $250 administrative fee, plus a $250 penalty. It's been out of compliance for more than 150 days.
All right, so some unknown number plus 25% plus 250 plus 250.
It'll say the amount of the business tax license, because the license amount is based on occupancy of the apartments. So
Got
we
it.
don't know
Okay.
that number right now.
So we have X, and we will solve for X later. Plus 25% plus 250 plus 250 is granted. Next. Violation.
Violation hearings 19-1263, 122 Gibraltar Street, Susan Freeman and Ronald Gindolf.
Code section is 6190A, 6191, 124C, and 15132. Drive-in sidewalk are stained, pool not maintained, garbage can not screened, and tree stumps. I observed this violation on 8/21/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. We walk by there with the dogs all the time. They had to move the fence because they had cut down those trees, and they couldn't put it where the stumps were.
So code section 6191, which is the pool not maintained, is a finding of fact.
All right.
And the remaining code sections, we'd be asking for compliance by 1226 or appearance at the 1-8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Okay, I'm back at the finding of fact, and the rest of it is what now?
1226 comply by, or
1-8
fine assessment hearing or $25 a day
granted.
fine.
All right, finding of fact on 6191, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and then the rest of them are 1226, 1825 granted. Next.
19-1279, 153 Cordoba Circle, Diane S. Thomas.
The code sections are 14.2 and 6190A, debris stored on the driveway and drive-in sidewalk stained. I observed this violation on 8/22/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
A table. Service via posting 325, or no,
A finding of fact.
finding of fact is granted.
19-1284, 268 Saratoga Boulevard East, Brandy L. McKenzie.
Code section is 6190A, structure not painted to match after stucco work was done. I observed this violation on 8/23/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the order signed in the office. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact is granted with the actual service.
19-1286, 133 Galliano Street, Therapist to You, Inc.
Code sections are 6190A, 2318B3, 14.2, and 12.4C. Drive-in sidewalk and roof are stained, parking on the lawn, and debris and garbage can in view. I observed this violation on 8/23/19, got the green card back, signed on 8/26/19. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Okay. Only signed a green card like a doctor. What would you
And
like on
code
this one?
sections, in this case, code sections 2318B3, that's parking on the lawn is a finding of fact.
Okay.
And the remaining code sections comply by 1226 or the 1-8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
1226, 1825 is granted and a finding of fact on 28-18B3. Next.
Thank you. 19-1348, 110 Segovia Avenue, Andrew and Jessica Camizzi.
Code section is 2657. Play structure was done without a permit. I observed this violation on 9/9/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back, signed on 9/12/19. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
19-1361, 117 Royal Pine Circle North, Francis Demarinis.
Code section is 6190A, drive-in sidewalk are stained. I observed this violation on 9/13/19, got the green card back signed, but not dated. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, signed green card equals service. They liked the top, but they didn't like the bottom.
We're asking for compliance by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted, they're going to tell me it's not their property.
19-1362, 130 Royal Pine Circle North, Gerald A. and Valquisha D. Williams.
Code section is 6190A. The drive and sidewalk are stained. I observed this violation on 9/13/19. Mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed but not dated. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, picture, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, signed green card equals service. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 19-1364, 115 Malaga Street, Jacqueline A. Donaldson and Carol A. Price.
Code section is 14.4A and 2316. Disabled, unregistered vehicle parked on the street, swale without moving. I observed this violation on 9/13/19, mailed a notice of violation and notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, you have an affidavit of service.
In this case, code section 2316, which is parking on the street / swale without moving, is a finding of fact.
I see they moved it, but did they tag it?
No.
All right, so 1226?
1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
19-1454, 11700 Okeechobee Boulevard, Village Center Management, LLC.
Code section is 622, 108.4, construction being done without permit. I observed this violation on 10/6/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed but not dated. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, picture, and Exhibit 4, printout of the AS 400 showing they haven't applied for a permit.
All right, pavers, or actually bricks, are so much prettier than concrete. Signed green card equals service. What would you like on this?
We're asking for compliance by 11/28 or the 12/11 fine hearing or $50 a day fine.
11/28, 12/11/50 is granted.
19-1455, 306 La Mancha Avenue, Progress Residential Borrower 5 LLC.
Code section is 2316, parking on the vacant lot. I observed this violation on 10/6/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed on 10/10. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, pictures, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
So, okay. Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
This one's a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted.
19-1474, 221 Bilbao Street, Alan Stromfeld and Laura Vatanza.
Code sections are 14.4A, 14.2, 2318B, 1-2, 2657, and 12.4C. Disabled unregistered vehicle, restricted trailer with storage, making it prohibited, parked in the backyard, play structure without a permit, and garbage can and debris not screened from view. I observed this violation on 10/10/19, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed on 10/15/19. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, signed green card equals service.
In this case, we're asking for compliance by 11/28 or the 12/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
19-0910, 177 Kingsway, Deona A. Olson, Deona A. Olson Trust, and Deona A. Olson Trust title holder.
Code section is 06-190A1, 3, 5, and H, 691, structure and garage door in disrepair, storm shutters are up, driveway and sidewalk are stained. I observed this on 6/5/19. It was mailed out on 6/5/19 and was posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, service via posting. Okay. It's kind of obvious when you put plywood over your garage door, something's wrong. What would you like? Service via posting.
Just repeat
Yeah,
that.
A135H, at least on the agenda.
Okay, the code section is 06190A1, 35H, and 6191.
Okay.
And in this case, the 3, the 5, and the H, and
Which
the
are?
6 storm shutters up, and 6191 driveway and sidewalk stained are findings of fact. So the A1, 06190A1, we're asking for compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, the 12/26 dates, 1/8/25 granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
19-1327 10162 Yeoman Lane, Robert J. Mellis, excuse me.
It's a painful
Code
case.
section is 06190A1, 3, and 5, structure, driveway, and sidewalk are stained. I observed this on 9/5/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 9/5/19 and were signed for on 9/10/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Signed, green card equals service, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1328 10331 Pippin Lane, Gary Cummings and Maria
Shrubbeers.
Code section 06190A1 and 5, sidewalk is stained. I observed this on 9/5/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 9/5/19 and were signed for on 9/10/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Signed, green card equals service, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1329 10361 Pippin Lane, Sabrina Florinord.
Code section 06190A1, 3, and 5, driveway and sidewalk are stained. I observed this on 9/5/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 9/5/19 and were signed, I have actual service on this.
Okay.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Got it. Actual service is service. What would you like?
Compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1369 10404 Oliver Lane, Cerebus SFR Holdings 2 LP.
Code section 2318B1A, prohibited vehicle. I observed this on 9/13/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 9/16/19 and were signed for on 9/19/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, so a lot of tow trucks in town, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1380 749 Orchid Drive, Julio and Alexandra Balmaceda.
Code section 622-108.40, 6190A1, 3, and 5. The wood was replaced on the carport without a permit. The sidewalk is stained. I observed this on 9/17/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 9/18/19 and were signed for on 9/23/19. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, doesn't quite have her gray spot thing there, but it's okay. You have a signed green card, you have service. What would you like? 12/26 1/8/25?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1383 11626 Oleander Drive, Jose A. Pineda and Miriam Lopez Arias.
The code section is 2657, 622-108.4, structure done without a permit. I observed this on 9/18/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 9/18/19 and were signed for on 9/20/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Signed green card equals service, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1324 131 Swan Parkway West, Gary M. and Susan J. Chirillo.
Thank you.
Code Section 06190A1 and 3, driveway and sidewalk are stained, rotted wood on the side of the home. I observed this violation on 9/5/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/5/19, posted it to the property. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
I don't know that I've ever seen one that dark. That's pretty impressive. Service via posting, 1226.
No, in this one, code, the parentheses 2 is being removed.
Which was?
It wasn't listed there. The parentheses 3, which is a driveway stained, is a finding of fact.
Okay.
The remaining code section comply by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Finding effect on paren 3, 1226, 18, 25 on the rest. Granted.
19-1337, 266 Sandpiper Avenue, Haiti and Jorge Rivera.
Code Section 06190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/6/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/9/19, and received the green card on 9/16/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card equals service. What would you like?
Compliance by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1340, 267 Sandpiper Avenue, Darrell G. and Catherine A. Burnham.
Code Section 06190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/6/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/9/19, received the green card on 9/16/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Signed green card equals service. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1344, 275 Sandpiper Avenue, Christopher and Dawn Danchek.
Code section is 942 and 06190A1. The fence is in disrepair and the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/6/19. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/6/19. Linda spoke with the owner on 9/20/19. I'd like to enter those following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. Posting equals service.
Thank you.
Again, compliance by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1354, 142 Dove Circle, Therese Casagnol Trust and Nod Regard Trust.
Code sections 2318B and 06190A1. The trailer not screened from public view and the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/9/19. And I'll notice the violation, notice of hearing on 9/9/19. And I posted it to the property. That's hard to say. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have service. What would you like?
In this case, Special Magistrate Code Section 23-18B, which is a trailer not screened from public view, is a finding of fact. On the remaining 06190A1, comply by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1357, 10615 Summertime Lane. And a correction here, it should say Jorge A. and Elba, E-L-B-A-E, Pinto.
Correction noted. Granted.
Code section is 622-108.4, work without a permit. I observed this violation on 9/10/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/11/19. They signed for it on 9/13/19. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
So what'd they do? Wood on the
Yeah, they put all
structure
that
there?
new wood and
A carport or a shed or a...
it's an extension of the house, like an addition.
Well, if they got that permitted. Sign green card equals service. What
Not
would you
yet.
like?
Compliance by 1226 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1359, 1209 Moonlight Way, Alexandra Bakari Estate.
Code section is 942. The fence is in disrepair. I observed this violation on 9/13/19. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/13/19. Posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
That's really a weird fence. Okay. All right. So you posted the dead person's property. It's
I
all
did.
good.
We're asking for, again, compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Tried to call her mother, too. She didn't answer.
19-1389, 131 Sunflower Circle, Indira and Ravi Prasad.
Code section is 14.2, 1557, 15.132, 06-190, 3, and 5. Miscellaneous items, high grass and weeds, grass and landscape debris on the sidewalk and driveway are stained. I observed this violation on 9/22/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/24/19, and it was delivered on 9/27/19. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, you have a tracking confirmed. First one of the evening. Someone really, really needed to lend those people an edger, but they did. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1400, 115 J Court, Kesner and Paula Chrysostom.
Code section 06-190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/26/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/26/19, and posted it to the property as well. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Who paints brick yellow? These people. All right. Service via posting, what would you like?
Compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1401, 133 J Court, Douglas and Lisa D. Hazer.
Code sections 14.2 and 12.4C, miscellaneous items and garbage cans are in public view. I observed this violation 9/26/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/26/19. They received it on 10/1/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
I like that. They have a chair out front so they can look at their garbage can. All right, signed green card, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
19-1405, 10501 Southern Boulevard, CarMax Auto Superstores, Inc.
You don't look like Linda.
Code section 1557 and 15132, vacant land, grass and weeds are overgrown on the lot and the swell area adjacent to Southern Boulevard. The grass and weeds are growing out and onto the sidewalk adjacent to Southern Boulevard. Linda Walker observed this on 9/26/2019. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 9/26/2019 and were signed for on 9/30/19. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so they all signed for their stuff. Is this next to Alpaca or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always said I need to drive my Jeep through there. All right, signed green card equals service, so here, have some more of it. What would you like?
And one minor correction on the agenda, if we could, in the PCN, the second number should be a 42.
Okay.
We're asking for compliance by 12/26 or the 1/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Yeah, get tires back there. Granted.
19-1543, 1100 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, 7-Eleven, Inc.
Code section 1254, 2349A6, 6135, 6195, and 1116. Description garbage and trash on the property. Disabled vehicle parked on the property. Address is not to be.
Address number is not to code.
Address is not to code. Means of egress.
Blocked.
Blocked. Thank you. I observed this Linda Walker observed this 10/28/19. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 10/28/19 and were signed for on 11/5/19. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and USPS track and confirm. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so this is over by the car wash. Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
And this one, we're asking for compliance by 11/29 or the 12/11 fine hearing or a $75 a day fine.
11/29, 12/11/25?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
No, I'm sorry, 75.
75, granted.
And then
Then we
page
have last
And
page in the health safety.
one-time abatement hearings, case 19-1514, 254 Ponce de Leon Street, Progress Residential Borrower 1 LLC.
Code sections are 1557 and 2662F, health and safety for high grass and weeds, and fence and disrepair making the pool unsecured. I observed this violation on 10/22/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
It's Santa Monica?
I'm sorry?
The cross street, is that like Santa Monica? Is that like over there?
Yeah, directly across. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, you have service via posting. Yes, it looks nasty and looks like it's going to fall over, and I don't like exposed
The
pools.
order you have before you is asking for a one-time abatement on both the fence and the high grass and weeds. So the order states that the village will be able to come back to recover its abatement costs to repair the fence, plus the $80 for mowing, plus the $206 in administrative costs, and set this for fine assessment on 12/11.
Done, signed, granted.
Thank you.
Did someone have an issue with like being done by 8:15? Because look, it's 8:12. I could have lingered. Anything further to be brought before the magistrate?
No, sir.
Please let the record reflect that I signed the minutes of the, what hearing? Of the October hearing while I was in session. Is there anything further to be brought before the magistrate? Hearing nothing further, we are now concluded at 8:13 with 2 minutes to spare.